2 in favor of Dem Girlz for me, just out of a guess.
We need to cast the curse this one, okay? We need to take away all the other numbers that we don't want, okay? It won't be a 4-0, so if I take away 4-1, you take away 4-2.
7-0 flip side. 7-0 flip side, confirmed. That's Remco now. Gonna take this off the back wall. It's a decent pass, but strong positioning from Cooks here, as it's not gonna matter, as it's gonna get recentered from Dem Girlz as Maestro into the corner. Good contest from Mike Rules. Not gonna let him get anything for free, as Cooks here gonna tap that one forward onto Marky. Marky can't get it around Remco. Nice challenge, good patient play coming from him, as Marky's waiting in the corner, but Maestro gonna steal it right out from over him, as Greasy Meister can't quite get it around Mike Rules, puts it just a little bit too far forward. And that will give possession right back to Flipside, as Mike doing his best to get it into the zone, and there's a good save from Greasy. And what a pass from Mike Rules, but strong defense once again from Dem Girlz, tough to break.
Yeah, it really is going to be one of those things of we see from a lot of defenses that they just sort of throw themselves. Dem Girlz throw themselves at the ball in defense better than anyone else. It really is one of those things of they are so good at predicting where the shot's going to come in, and they put their car exactly where they think it's coming, before the shot's even taken.
The crystal ball on Dem Girlz is strong, but not strong enough, as Mike Rule is going to come in and sink one into the net and give themselves the game 1-0 lead.
Certainly is. Absolutely no one coming in to challenge until far too late. We see Greasy coming in just towards the end there, but he's just far too late for that. It's a clean shot coming in, and you don't want to be giving Mike a clean shot. He's going to make perfect contact on that 9 times out of 10. Oh, wow. The kickoff strats. Hello.
Kickoff strats, too good for Dem Girlz. I believe we also saw a couple. Did we see any kickoff strats in last series, or did they just play a relatively clean game?
I think we saw like one kickoff strat goal coming in from Dem Girlz last time.
Oh, good placement from Greasy, but just wide. And Marky Duda now going to do his best to tap this around Maestro, but nice patient play from them. Still gives a net to Mike Rules, but Remco easily going to clear that one out. It's a nice pass to the middle of the pitch, but the only one there is going to be Mike Rules, as Cooks here going to do his best to back pass to Marky. Marky thankfully able to catch that one, as it unfortunately tips straight up, and Greasy trying to follow it. What a save from Mike Rules! I thought Mike Rules own goaled that, but somehow it hit the post and went out.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to touch that at all, but at least it moved the ball away from whatever Dem Girlz player was coming in for the rebound. It's 2 completely different things there, Shogun, but gets it out of the way. So overall, very smart play coming in from him there, as he's been very solid throughout this match, throughout game 1.
Good contest coming from Marky Duda on a fast break, and he beats Remco back to the net. And 2-goal lead. Marky just 1v3.
Yeah, gets the pass Greasy with that first one, and then Remco, he's trying to get it back. And here's the issue with, I mean, there's an issue with absolutely every style of play. I know I congratulate them about this earlier. Here's the thing. If there is a player on Dem Girlz who gets beat, because they usually leave one player back who charges forward once the ball's coming towards the halfway line to take that ball away. If that player gets beat, there's nothing left. So it's a very smart strategy. It works 9 times out of 10, but when they get beat, they get beat.
Very true. As that's I think a lot of the style of a lot of people like to play. Maestro, good pass, good vision over to Remco. Just gonna miss that shot though. And yeah, Dem Girlz definitely plays a very siege heavy strat, as we've seen, and it's gonna result in a goal in that situation, as a nice little flick from Maestro across the pitch over to Remco, who's waiting over there.
Yeah, but here's the situation where the Dem Girlz strat works out just fine when they've absolutely got no pressure on them coming towards their own goal. Instead, flicking it over to the far side, Remco with plenty of space just to bury it into the top right corner. As we're seeing different kickoff strats actually coming out. Mike just slowed himself completely down towards the end of that one, trying to get the flick on, trying to get the second touch.
Oh, Mike just going to miss that hit, so he's forced to pop it straight up for Cooks here. Cooks here, a slow shot on the net, and it is easily cleared out by Greasy Meister, but I can't help but feel if he had any more power on that, he might have been able to sneak it through just by pure speed. As Remco now gives it right over to Marky Duda. Marky Duda up that back wall where Greasy's already waiting. It's going to pounce into the middle for Cooks here. Cooks here doing a good job of keeping it into the corner. And that is a difference maker of a clear, as it gives it to Maestro, but he misses the bottom right of the net. And a missed opportunity here for Dem Girlz, as Greasy doing his best to catch this, but Remco going to be the one to come in and sweep it just under Marky Duda.
Yeah, we see Greasy, he's put this one so high, and Mike Rules, he goes up for the ball. We said it earlier, if you go up for it, you have to hit it. And he didn't get anything on there at all, so the ball comes straight down for the rebound, and it's easily put in by Remco. This has been such a close match to start us off. This is the series we deserve, hopefully.
Oh, definitely. Dem Girlz and FlipSide, a very highly anticipated match, both inside and outside. But able to get a nice solid clear, but they hit it a little too hard, and they're going to give possession right back to Dem Girlz. As that's a nice little touch, but Cooks here with a good challenge. It's actually going to go backwards, and it's going to help Maestro more than Cooks here, as that's a good contest from Mike Rules. Gets a nice big pinch all the way to the opposite end of the pitch. Remco forced to roll it up the corner and make sure his teammates have plenty of time to rotate. As there's Marky, a good pass to mid. Cooks here, soft touch just off the top corner and out. And that's a pass to Remco. Remco giving it right back to Greasy, and Greasy not going to miss the net, but Mike Rules going to clear that one out with a beautiful challenge. As here comes Cooks here, a soft touch once more, not able to find it though, and Remco going to get a nice big clear. 18 seconds left, and we might be looking at overtime here. Oh, never mind! I lied! Why did I say it? I said it, and then Maestro just proves me wrong. Greasy with a nice touch off that back wall, and there's Maestro, and 3 members committed for FlipSide. Not like it mattered in that shot, but goodness.
Yep, 4 players went for that ball. One of them was there way before the others. And that was going to give Maestro his goal. And let's not... I feel like the person that hasn't scored this game has been by far the best. Greasy has been an absolute monster, absolutely everywhere on the pitch, challenging everything, and getting the ball set up.
Oh, that's a good touch. Good pass from Marky high, but Greasy, once again, man of the hour, as Maestro taking this on a dribble. Just let it fall, mate. Okay, goodness. Had me worried for a second. But, man, that was so good. Is that game 1, right?
That's game 1. Hopefully we have 6 more of those to
Okay. Whew. Man, these guys are ready to go. They're just like, ready up, let's go. We don't care. We don't care about your post-game analysis.
All these players at this point, they just want in.
Dem Girlz, though, really able to clutch it out there in the last second, as beautiful touch from Greasy over to Maestro. Maestro, strong laser beam in the upper left corner of the net. But FlipSide, definitely, I don't think they really made any huge errors in defense that game. I think they just got beat to a couple balls, and it resulted in a win from Dem Girlz.
There was a couple of poor mistakes. It was just bad choices at times, like I believe it was Mike going for one of the rebounds off the wall that he shouldn't have gone to. It's been one of those sort of things so far where the leads haven't really become that huge, so it's kind of like doesn't really leave a lasting impact.
Oh, nice soft touch from Cooks here, but unfortunately the only ones to come down with that are Dem Girlz, as Marky Duda off that backboard. Remco doing his best, gonna miss the hit, actually gonna tip down the ball as he lands on it and give it right back to Greasy. And now Maestro gonna do his best to give it right back to his teammates, but there's Mike Rules waiting on that back wall. Nice touch around one defender, but there's Remco. That invaluable third man is Cooks here. Nice clear, able to put it into his corner, make sure his teammates really have a lot of time to get set. As Cooks here, following this up the wall. A nice big touch forward to Mike Rules. Mike Rules going to roll it around that corner, but there's Greasy already up there and waiting, and what a read from Greasy. I don't think I would have went that high for a read like that.
He knows. That's one of those things. Oh, that's an open goal!
Let's see.
FlipSide Tactics. What has happened here? Greasy's taking it all the way, and Mike came out for the ball, lost the 50-50 against Maestro, and the ball gets played directly into the path of Remco, so FlipSide didn't necessarily do anything wrong there, but everything that could have possibly happened went wrong for them.
Yeah, it was not terribly positionally, just beat to the ball on 2 of them. Mike Rules got beat to that first touch, and then Marky Duda not quite able to make it to that challenge that resulted in a shot on the net. Netting Dem Girlz on 1-all. I was going to say a 1-0 lead, but that was so unbelievably wrong that... I'm losing my mind. Nice touch from Remco off that back wall. Marky gonna try and play this forward, but there's Greasy already waiting. It's gonna not go over Cooksier's head, as Cooksier just able to sky that off the backboard and out towards the middle of the pitch. He's also gonna find this second touch off the back wall, but there's Greasy. Easy clear for him, already lurking up there. Nice touch again, but we shall see if FlipSide's able to set up the siege, and as I say that, it starts going still on FlipSide's way, so I'm not completely wrong, but Greasy once again able to make another clear, and Greasy playing really good defense here.
Yeah, Yep, so far, Dem Girlz doing a very good job of soaking up the pressure, as they usually do. I mean, they usually spend the majority of the time in the other end of the pitch, but... Oh, no, Mike! It's saved by Cooks here there. But Dem Girlz, going back to my point I was making, yes, they spend the majority of the time down the field, but if they get time to set up in defense, they are ridiculously hard to beat. If they've got all three of them back, I mean, look at this. They're happy to just wait for the ball to come near them, put it into a position where, okay, you're kind of making the point wrong here, but they finally managed to move this one away.
But there's Cooks here. As we've already seen, Dem Girlz, once they get a siege going on offense, they're nigh unstoppable, but a nice touch from Maestro. Cleared out from Cooks here, who, reading that ball perfectly, gives it right over to Remco. Remco, nice touch. It's going to go high towards the center of the pitch, and there's Mike Rule's going to put it off the backboard. It's going to fall in front of the net, but a good clear. And a nice challenge from Maestro. Going to net another possession for Dem Girlz. Nice! No! I was going to say, nice shot from Maestro, until I realized that it's a misplay. That is the only reason it's going to happen.
Yeah, Mike, he committed towards going towards that one, but just miscalculated it. If he got there and he actually read it right, he would have been able to easily take that play away, but he didn't, and the shot was on target. Mike Rules, the right idea was there. Just the execution was super off.
Maestro just barely missing a nice double touch there. As they have a 1-goal lead here in the last minute of Game 2 in this Grand Finals, which is a best-of-7. As it's not going to be able to float over Remco. Remco doing a nice job of adjusting to that hop off the corner. Good flick sideways, but there's Mike Rules. A nice soft touch high towards the net, but Remco once again going to be able to get up, make a nice clear, hold on to this lead, and we will have to make sure, Dem Girlz will have to make sure that their defense remains rock solid here as the game comes to a close. That's a good back pass, but Remco almost not in a good position. Thankfully able to get just enough of it to almost stay in control of this ball. As there's a good shot from Cooks here. Man, I just could not even fathom what to say. I did not even know where I was going.
The game at this sort of level is ridiculously fast-paced, but Cooks, he's done such a good job of getting that one into the air and going for the rebound off the same move, the same jump he used to put that ball up there, he used for the aerial, beats both of the Dem Girlz player getting to it, and we are looking at another ridiculously close game.
Oh, that's trouble, but okay. Maestro able to regain control, as I thought somebody from FlipSide was going to be there to just dunk that into the net, but there's a nice big clear from Remco. It looks like last shot opportunities will fall in favor of Dem Girlz, as Maestro not going to be able to take the dribble, and it's overtime in Game 2. As here comes Cooks here for that kickoff. Maestro going to win up. Greasy on the cheat up. Going to opt to go back. Let Maestro handle this one. It's a dunk, but it's just wide. And Cooks here very thankful that he did not have to make a save or an attempt at one there, as that could have been disastrous. Greasy just off the post. God, 2 very close shots from Dem Girlz. And I'm not sure if it's FlipSide just being out of position or if Dem Girlz is just playing ridiculously fast and they can't handle the pressure.
Well, they've been on defense since the overtime started, and it really has shown that they just haven't managed to get themselves into position properly, but now that they've managed to get the ball down to the other end, we're now onto an even match. They've managed to weather the storm.
42 seconds into this overtime, as there's a nice pass from Mike to Cooks here, right back to him, but a good contest from Greasy Meister. Going to put it right on Marky's hood. It's going to stay here in the center of the pitch, and nobody really able to gain control of this as Remco a laser beam into the net. And once again, nobody back for FlipSide, and another blown rotation, I believe.
Yep, all of them too far forward, and we see that, Cooks missed the ball. And that's what ended up this being just a completely open shot. If Cooks got a hold of that ball, it would have allowed his team just a little bit more time to come in and take the ball away. But ends up with the whiff. Cooks still had a good match, but he's not going to be happy with that at all.
Marky Duda opting to go and reset his internet. So, we will have a short break here, but let's look at the further stats here. We had only a 1-shot differential in favor of Dem Girlz. 2 assists for Maestro, also 1 goal. A couple saves as well. I mean, do you think Greasy had as big of an impact in this game as he did in Game 1?
No.
No.
Greasy was good in this one. They all were. But he seemed to be taking much more of a filling role where Maestro and Remco were very much the players, like the playmakers of that one. Whilst Greasy was just saying, all right, you guys do what you want to do. I'll fill in the spots that need to be filled in. And it works. I think the only thing right now that is separating these teams is either, and literally you'd have to get into their heads to be able to tell which one of these two it is. It's either the ability to handle pressure, because we've seen now 2 overtimes where FlipSide have lost through very silly mistakes, or it's just that FlipSide aren't playing good and they're making these mistakes naturally. I'd have to be able to hear how they're talking to each other right now. I'd have to be able to get into their own heads to see how panicky they are right now to be able to pick which one it is, so that either just not playing good at all right now and making these mistakes, or they're just crumbling under the pressure. I don't know which.
I actually really like that point you made about Greasy sort of being able to fill that spot that needs to be filled. And I think that's why Dem Girlz is such a strong team right now. They're all very fluid. It's like, because right now for FlipSide, it seems like they're always, it's like when they get scored on, it's always because they're caught too far forward, or at least a majority of the time they're caught too far forward. It never really feels like they're in the net, ready and set to like really have to block a nice shot or something. And I feel that fluidity is, because on FlipSide it's like they're all wanting to be that guy that makes a nice play and able to put that one into the net, but they're all obviously all very capable on defense, clearly.
I think there's a good way of explaining this right now, and it just seems like when FlipSide are asked to do defense, they want to do it now. They want the player that's closest to it, they want him to go for the ball, they want him to, you know, make the play, get the ball away, and they can immediately go on to offense. Dem Girlz, when they're in defense, they're happy to wait. They're happy to actually wait for the ball to come into a situation where they're actually under pressure, and then they move the ball away. We've seen a couple of situations there where Cooks, he could have waited for a little while before he tried to hit that one. You know, if I'm trying to remember the play correctly, but in that overtime, you know, but he tried to do it immediately, and that's where the mistake came in. There was time to wait. There was time to reset. Dem Girlz are happy to reset. FlipSide wanted it to be a million miles an hour all the time. Player has joined the match.
Player. Let's see. Okay, I guess it's Mellow, and it just said player. But we're about to get back underway.
Oh, this is going to be so confusing for those that don't know what's going on.
Okay.
It's Cooks here, Mellow, and player now.
So let's see. Cooks here is...
Have fun, chat! Have fun!
So Cooks here is Cooks here, obviously. Mellow is still Mike Rules, and Marky has changed his name to player for whatever reason.
That might be something to do with Steam, actually.
I don't think I've ever ran into that, but I will not discount it, as I will not claim to be an expert. As there's Marky, solid touch, backboard and out, and just a slightly misplaced ball is gonna net another defensive success. That's the word I want for Dem Girlz, as Meister able to take this one out on a dribble. Good read on Marky's hit there, playing it very passively, noticing that he was beat to that ball. As Cooks here now, off that side wall, gonna try and have to play this himself, but it's gonna punch all the way to the opposite end of the pitch as Maestro now towards the back wall. Actually gonna get cleared out there from Mike Rules, gives it right to Cooks here. That's a strong shot, but it's gonna be high, and Remco doing a nice job of catching that beautifully and tipping it towards the corner. And there's Maestro in for support, able to get it out. And once again, very good defense for Dem Girlz, taking that precious time that they know they have, as you said. And they are able to rotate back onto the offensive possession here, but they're going to misplay that just a little bit. But that third hit, Remco not going to be able to get a nice center, but there it is this time. And there's Maestro. And see, I feel like somebody from FlipSide should have like really been in the net ready to support that.
Well, Cooks is the one that's coming back here, but he's managed to get bumped by Remco. In fact, he would have never have got there first to begin with, so, I mean, I'd love to see that one again and see who was supposed to be back, because we've seen 2 players part of that.
Would have been Mike.
I don't know where the third one was.
He was over towards the right side of the net, like, towards the boost-ish.
So, just starting to come back.
Oh, nice dunk.
Goal number 2. What is happening here? Dem Girlz. They're getting goals, but they're pretty weak ones, really. If you look at it, Remco comes up, And Marky is really late to coming towards that one. Mike tries to go for the bottom down save, but the ball was just hit down far too low for him to come off that wall and hit it away. Dem Girlz, they're not doing anything special here, but they've got themselves a 2-goal lead only 90 seconds into this match.
And that looked like Marky gave a challenge from, like, oh, a nice dunk from Mike. It's going to go high, and oh, Marky not able to connect and put that into the net. As Dem Girlz once again able to hold off FlipSide, but the pressure is still strong as Cooks here going to try and follow this one into the net. But Maestro now going to take this out on a dribble. Able to tap it around 2 defenders and into the top left corner. Maestro, please.
What is going on right now? Maestro, yep, as you said, it takes it past one. Takes it past Cooks here as well. Marky Dula, he went for boost. He knew, well, he thought that one of his teammates was at least going to be able to get a hold of it, but oh my god, what is happening here? This has been insane by Dem Girlz. They are
definitely taking them apart relatively easily here. We shall have to see if FlipSide able to make the adjustments. That's a good start. It's going to center in favor of FlipSide, but Remco getting a nice read off that top corner, able to clear it out, and Mike Rule's not able to find the follow-up shot, as it's a big clear where Cooks here already back on defense. Nice soft touch up towards Mike. Mike towards the middle of the field, and it looks like he's going to be the one to have to play that, as Marky's just going to miss that hit. And here comes Remco now up towards the side. A nice challenge from Cooks here, going to keep it over on that side, but there's Maestro going to tap that over across for Mike Rules, and it's an open net, and that is good play from FlipSide that time.
It certainly is. Dem Girlz with no one back. Greasy Meister had just come in from the demolish, and he was completely out of rotation, so he saw the ball near him and just sort of went, okay, I got this, and didn't end up having that. So that, I mean, for the most part, that is his fault in that situation. He came up, went for a ball that he shouldn't have gone for. And that is going to allow FlipSide an opportunity back into this match, although they've got still loads of work to do.
There is Marky Duda on that wall. Nice touch, couple of touches forward, but Remco going to be the one to come down with it. And that really, that play right there, where Dem Girlz like just sat in the corner and waited for Marky Duda to do whatever he was going to do with that ball, as that's a good save from Cooks here, as it's going to get cleared out.
Ridiculous save.
But yeah, and also this play right here, Remco, it's not going to work out this time, but that was a good dunk from Mike Rules, but Remco playing this very passively because he realized he had a little bit of time and he could really reposition his car, but a good read from Mike Rules is going to result in a good goal for FlipSide and bring them within one. But like you said, the patience for Dem Girlz usually pays off.
It usually does, but if they're starting to get red on it, like that shot just there, which Mike came in for, if they know that it's going to be played quite late, it allows FlipSide time to actually get down the pitch and challenge them properly. And if they can guess it right, you've just seen there, they can get goals. We saw earlier Remco played it quite late. Oh my Cooks! FlipSide Tactics are back in this match in an outstanding fashion. That
was a savage mind game. Like, there's no other word for that. Cooks here, quick swerve in, little swerve out, and the defender just biting on it. And Cooks here, no stranger to the mind games, if you've ever watched his streams, which I'm sure we all have at some point. So, good play coming out from him, and like Shogun has so eloquently pointed out, FlipSide Tactics are back in this game.
It's not, I said earlier, the free goal behind comeback is ridiculously rare. We've now seen 2 of them as a FlipSide look to try and pull. There it is! 4 goals in a row, uncontested!
Well, let's see what happened. Nice touch from Mike Rules off the corner, and Maestro, he wanted to pinch that, and he just got square in the center of the ball instead of on one or the other side. And when you square up the center of that ball on a pinch, it just bounces you right back off it.
Yeah, I don't know why Greasy was there, though. He could have taken the wide route or gone up the wall. There was no need for him to come over that way. It's kind of one of those hindsight things where you kind of realize that if the pinch doesn't go well, that's going to happen. But, oh, there we go.
This looks like a lot more like the FlipSide we expected to see here, as they are able to put up 4 goals in maybe a minute and a half. As Maestro now on a dribble, not able to get it around Marky Duda. The soft touch from Cooks here is going to go right to Maestro. Maestro, soft touch up to Remco. Remco tipping it high off that backboard. Cooks here doing his best to stall it out and make sure his teammates have time to get set. And here comes Remco now, not quite able to get it around Mike. That's a good challenge, and it's an open net, but He's going to opt to let it go here. And I don't think that... I think he realized that he didn't have the positioning to really take a good shot.
I was actually on his camera there, and the thing was is that he landed sideways.
Rip.
So you actually saw him jump at the end there. That's because he thought he was going to land the way he wanted to and be able to go straight for it afterwards. This might be goal number 5. FlipSide Tactics taking advice from Kapow. 5 goals in a row. Bring it back from 3-0 down. I believe we've seen this one before.
I do believe we have indeed seen this movie. But... FlipSide Tactic, yeah, I guess they did come back and win that 5-3, didn't they?
They did. My memory's good for those sort of matches.
But here comes. This might be... No, it's not going to be 6-3, just to prove you wrong for the sake of proving you wrong. Unless... Okay. 5-3 in favor of FlipSide. FlipSide taking the game back, making some strong adjustments. And I'm going to go ahead and chalk it up to the Marky Duna player change name thing, Majigger.
Right, well, it looks like we are going to be remaking this. Greasy Meister does have 120 ping, and they want one slightly better than that, so we are going to be remaking the lobby and getting ourselves back into this.
Try not to panic. It's okay, chat. We will be right back. And I know it's really hard to look at an intermission screen, but if you just bear with us, it will be back.
And hopefully as we come into this, we'll also sort out Mike's glitch. I checked Steam just a second ago. He is still called Mike Rules on
Marky Duda.
He's still called Mello. Oh, Marky, sorry. Everyone's changing names. It's really hard to keep up at this point. But yes, it was Marky that changed his stuff.
We'll see, we're on top of our game. We're back in the lobby.
Okay, Marky has now changed his name to Player Dude. Wait, Player... He's got himself called Player Dude currently. And he's now joined in as player. Okay, so...
I have no idea. 2-1 in flavor.
The glitch is staying.
We Dem Girlz. Marky Duda, affectionately known as player. Confirmed. It's Gaben's fault. Probably.
Him in particular.
Maestro soft touch, not able to find the shot. And that will give Cooksier time to clear that one out. As he's going to take it up his wall. It's actually going to bounce pretty far out for Greasy. But this will give time for a couple FlipSide members to chase this one down, and that could be trouble as Cooksier is going to be the last man standing. Greasy with a beautiful delay, and there's Maestro going to put that home, and what a pass from Greasy.
Cooksier was put into the worst possible situation here. Look at how well Dem Girlz play that one. Greasy Meister does a 360 with his car, turning to the left to flick that one across. Cooks does the only thing he can do, go up, hope that he can get a touch onto it, but because of the extra touch, the ball was taken away from him. Just a complete outplay there. Dem Girlz looking so good.
Very true, as this could be another opportunity. It's going to roll straight down, and Maestro going to make no mistake and punch that one in. And was that Mike Rules in the net?
It was, but Mike's been put... We saw this earlier on. I think it was the first series we casted. If it hits the rounded part at the very top of the ceiling and comes straight downwards as a defender... It is ridiculously hard to defend against. You can try and go up for it, but you're actually quite likely to put it in for an own goal.
Yeah.
So best hope is just to let it bounce and hope that the opposing team doesn't move for a shot. Speaking of shots, hello, Mike.
I mean, Maestro just catches this pass from Mike Rules, basically. Like, Mike Rules trying to take a shot, and Maestro goes, I can save that, and just puts a laser into the top net instead. And a bit of a miscommunication there from Dem Girlz, I believe.
Yeah, rare miscommunication coming out from Dem Girlz, especially in defense. It's not something that usually happens. But it has happened, and Maestro with the backflip.
Hey, man. The backflip is an OP strategy because we have a meme for it in Twitch chat. So
that's the whole reason. To push backflips.
That is why we have Feels Backflip Man, because we love Feels Backflip Man. Rare Pepes everywhere. As Greasy going to make a good clear, give it over to Remco. Remco actually going to put it all the way back to where that ball came from. It's going to center for Cooksier. Cooksier's got an open net, and that's just a bad hop for Maestro in that corner there.
Let's have a look at Dem Girlz. Yeah, the ball comes up. Maestro, okay, I can see there. Maestro has already committed to the fact that he believes that the ball is going to roll up the wall, and then it doesn't. Yep. That just leaves him in the worst situation. Just ball comes straight off. He can't go towards it. No players left in net to try and save him. And FlipSide, yet again, coming back from the deficit.
Oh, that was an insane dunk from Greasy Meister. And I really wanted to see them put that one home because he definitely earned it with that kind of pass. But that's also a good pass. It's just going to go off that backboard for player. But Greasy Meister now following this touch. It's a nice soft touch, a couple touches, and that might throw Dem Girlz off a little bit. But there's Maestro, slow roller into the bottom left, but it's going to hit that post and roll out. There's a good easy on the wall, going to beat Cooks here to that, but Mike Rule is going to give it right to Maestro. Out to mid is Remco. Remco looking for Greasy on that back wall. Greasy going to do his best to get a good center. Cooks here caught, and that's into the lower left corner. Nice shot from Maestro.
This was the most perfectly weighted pass over the top. Look at Greasy. He's put that one over the top. He's got it over both the defenders, over into the completely clear side for Maestro just to tuck it in. And Greasy, we talked about it earlier, he is the facilitator of this team. Sets things up, just gets himself into the position he needs to be. 3 assists for him right now, and 3 goals for Maestro, so their link-up has been ridiculous this game. There is Greasy getting one for himself.
Let's see what happened on defense here. Mike Rules on this wall, sees Remco's hit, lands, realizes it's off the back wall, and he just doesn't have the time to make the adjustment as Marky Duda just not able to get a piece of that ball. And it's just strong offense coming out for Dem Girlz. And this time, FlipSide Tactics, completely ignoring everything I've said, they are in the net and set. But good passes from Dem Girlz, netting good-looking goals.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until you actually said it, but there were a number of mistakes from both Mike and Marky in that situation. Mike came off the wall when he didn't really need to, and Marky did a weird jump thing that took him out of being able to go and contest that ball. So
soft touch, but Cooks here.
Okay, that is a save, though. Hi, Cooks. How are you?
Cooks here, playing that wall game ever so expertly as Maestro soft touch to mid, but there's Marky going to drop this into his own corner, and we might see the siege here for Dem Girlz, as we have seen so often already in their past couple of series, as Mike Rule's just going to get a piece of that, but that could be trouble, as that's a good delay from Maestro, not going to let Marky get a nice big clear. It's not quite over Cooksier's head. Cooksier making the smart adjustment and also opting to follow that ball and make sure it really got out of the front of the net as Marky waiting on that back wall, going to give it to Mike. Mike tipping it forward, and the siege has indeed begun for Dem Girlz.
Yeah, but here's the thing that usually breaks it down, and that's a good dribble. Guess who's good at dribbling? Marky Duda. Always gets a hold of that ball, and it's just... Like we said earlier, there's usually only one player that they need to beat. Marky is more than capable of beating the one player. In fact, any player on FlipSide really is. But Dem Girlz, their defense has just been so solid, unable to get past them, really. And breaking the siege by Dem Girlz has been really difficult for FlipSide so far.
Yeah, it's definitely very difficult to get those big, clear, soft touch. Mike Rules post and out. Maestro with a good clear. But like you said, breaking that siege, really the only way to do it is with a dribble. Because if you have proper positioning and proper rotation on defense like Dem Girlz so often do have, it's real tough to get it out on a big clear. That's a good center, but nice touch from Marky, but Remco, once again, already back and waiting. There's a soft touch towards the center from Mike Rules to Cooksier. Cooksier going to do his best to follow this, but there's actually Mike Rules going to come in and get it. Did Cooksier tap that out to him? I couldn't tell.
Well, let's see. Mike's played that one over the top. Cooksier plays it back over there. And then we see Mike come in. It's the 1-2 in the air, which is certainly a sentence I enjoy saying.
The 1-2 in the air?
1-2 in the air. I mean, the ball didn't even touch the floor. It didn't even look like it came close. Great two-player play there. Great teamwork coming out. 40 seconds left in this match.
Nice play from Marky, recognizing that ball was going to go low and diving off that side wall. But with 30 seconds left, FlipSide's going to have to make something happen really fast, and it's not going to be that, as Greasy's going to come in, spike another one into the net, and that just makes things harder for FlipSide.
It just seems like every single time Dem Girlz get a hold of the ball, they're so calm with it. It's not like this. If Dem Girlz are 2 goals behind, the strategy's the same. If Dem Girlz are 2 goals ahead, the strategy is the same. Siege the offense, don't let them out. And when it works as well as this, I have no right to complain about it.
Yeah, and I think that'll be one of the things that is always tough about being a top team, right? Because once you're on top, it's really hard to stay on top. And that's always been true of any sport, esport or otherwise. Like, once you're on top, it's really tough to improve because no one is able to challenge you. You know what I mean?
It's that weird thing. Dem Girlz gonna have that good thing throughout the entire time on top, and we're not even finished here, but wow, we're still going. Remember, guys, this is a best of 7, so Dem Girlz have not finished the job just yet. They still have got one more game to go. But it's that thing. Dem Girlz, they don't seem to be resting on their laurels, and we're seeing it here. Flipside, we saw it when it came to SK. SK took the mantle of #1 team in Europe for about 2 weeks, and then Flipside came back, and they just wiped the floor. It was theirs again. Dem Girlz have held on to #1 for a much longer period of time.
And that'll be just... I think... I'm not even going to try and justify what I'm about to say, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Not good enough at this game to try and break that one down. But Dem Girlz definitely proving themselves to be a top team, as that definitely would have been a very good start, as Mike Rule's just going to flick that off the crossbar, and that's a bit of miscommunication from Flipside, as that was a great pass from Marky Duda, and that's a wonderful shot from Maestro, but I thought that was in for sure, as both teams, very close shots here at the start, and I'm sure both of them very thankful neither of them went in, as that one's not going to go in either, and Mike Rule's having trouble finding the net here, but very good at hitting that top crossbar corner, and as I've always said, Shogun, crossbar is the all-time save leader.
Yep. Crossbar will forever be the best player in this game. That's unarguable at this rate. I mean... Oh, wow, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
No
wow. Okay. So Maestro here is really good at this game. Says, hello, Mike Rules. I don't even care that you're here. I'm just going to do a little shimmy shake, and I'm going to pass it to my boy Greasy Meister. Just going to put that into the lower right corner. And it's 1-0 Dem Girlz, and they earned that one.
I mean, what did Maestro really get for all of that work? He got demolished.
He got blown up. Salty, salty Flipside confirmed.
This has been a ridiculously good series so far, and hopefully it'll continue. I really want to see I'm gonna use a little bit of bias here and say Flipside needs to come back into it, because I have not seen enough. I am not satisfied at this point. I need at least 2 more games. Shogun
needs 2 more games. He'll just break down in the post-game casters thing and just start crying uncontrollably. But that has not happened yet, as Dem Girlz still needing to hold on to this lead for another 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And that could have been a good start, as Maestro actually had a pretty clean shot at the net, but not able to connect, so opts to pass it off that corner to mid, and that's trouble, as nobody in the net for Flipside, and Greasy just off the crossbar. Remco soft touch also off the crossbar, and missed opportunities for Dem Girlz will keep Flipside only down 1 goal.
Yep, it really
oh my goodness!
Be 2 at this point.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was a lot of trust in Cooks coming back.
Once again, the siege started here for Dem Girlz, and we will see that dribble not pay off for Marky Duda this time, as it's actually a good pass up to him from Cooks here. Right back to him. Gonna miss that second touch, and there's a flat shot on the net, but easily cleared out by Remco. And the defense of Dem Girlz showing no chinks in the armor as of yet.
No chinks in the armor at all. Dem Girlz, they only have to win this one, and they will be the Gfinity winners, trading wins back from last week, where Flipside beat them 4-2. So it's certainly an interesting rivalry these guys seem to be bringing up, and this is just yet another part of that story. But Flipside don't want this chapter to end just yet. We'll be keeping that pressure on, won't want to lose now. As we see Player, who is Marky, and we see Mello, who is Mike, and we see us, who are always confused by these names.
Confirmed. Nice touch forward, Remco. It's going to go crossbar and cleared out by Marky Duda. And it's going to fly high towards the center of the pitch. Good challenge midair from Greasy, but it's going to fall right onto Marky's head. Gets a nice big clear, but that's going to give possession right back to Dem Girlz. And Cooks here now taking a slow shot at the net. Easily cleared out by Maestro. Marky. God dang it. You got me, Shogun. You said we're confused, and I got confused.
Yeah, that's how you do it. I'm going to start coughing soon, just randomly, and you'll start coughing.
Please, no. Marky.
Random yawns coming up in this cast.
It's Cooks here now off that corner, right to Greasy Meister. And so far, Flipside not able to get anything going on offenses. That's a good pass to Greasy and a sick demo, but Remco not able to find the net, and Marky Duda able to make it back just in time. And Dem Girlz, once again, another missed opportunity, but oh so close to converting, as the FlipSide offense has just been completely unable to get anything really started here in Game 5.
Wow, they've got it for free.
Shogun, why do I say things?
Because this is Rocket League, and you can say whatever you want to, but the game is so quick it will just change. Greasy, uncharacteristically too far forward for that. And that just meant that Mike could come over the top, dink the ball over his head, and put it into the net. I mean, this is going to be a weird time that I say this, but that was a bad rotation from Dem Girlz.
Oh, and that's a beautiful flick, but coming in from that side wall is Remco, going to clear that out to Greasy, who's putting it into his own corner, but there's Mike Rules once again, not able to get it around. Maestro looking on that wall, but Mike doing his own job on that wall. That's a soft touch forward from Remco, and that might get a nice big clear, but FlipSide once again having to play that ball on defense, returning to net and not really set. As if they had been a little further back, they could have got a nice big clear over onto Dem Girlz' side. As Remco now going to get stuffed out by Mike, who's waiting on that side wall. 30 seconds, and Shogun, if this plays out right, you might get your wish. And we might go at least one more game.
I don't ask for too much in life, but I do.
Oh my god.
Sometimes you don't need to hit it hard, you just need to hit it right. Remco almost found the gap.
This will most likely be FlipSide's last attempt at offense here. Is Greasy actually going to clear that one out very quickly and not let them get anything started, but Remco's already back in the net. Going to hit that softly, and that's trouble, and Remco, thankfully, not getting a shot put over his head, as that was a very dangerous clear.
That was not the greatest clear at all, but they have just got away with it. Dem Girlz living on the edge in that one.
Living on the edge. Indeed. That's a... Man, what song is that? I think it's by, like, Bon Jovi, but that's besides the point. Sick touch from Maestro over to Cooksier. Cooksier giving it right back to Remco, and ball's going to stay here in the middle of the pitch as Mike Rules not quite able to win out that 50-50 versus Maestro. It's going to go up the wall for Remco. Remco up to Maestro. This could be it. A soft touch from Maestro back to Remco, but Cooksier thankfully coming in from that corner. Going to clear that one out and keep FlipSide in this series for more overtime. Cooksier now. Easy clear out for him. Up towards the center of the pitch where Maestro waiting on that wall, but there's Marky Duda. Nice big touch, but goes right into Remco. Waiting in the air for it as there's Cooksier. Getting a bit of a soft touch, which I think will net. Yep, there's Dem Girlz off the backboard. Going to come down. Maestro actually going to miss a hit, and that's not something you see very often. At least from anything I've seen from Maestro in the past few days, as he has been crushing it.
It really is indeed, and here's the main question at this point. We're seeing so much of this ball being inside the FlipSide half that are Dem Girlz going to make that rotational mistake yet again and allow one more in? They're going to be in full defense right now. FlipSide are dangerous when they're allowed to commit to their offense, although it's been broken down very quickly.
Ooh. Yeah, Dem Girlz definitely not willing to let FlipSide start a siege, as Mello going to give it right over to Greasy Meister, up to Remco. Remco looking for the pass mid, but two members from FlipSide ready and waiting as there's Maestro. Can't quite get it around Marky. And that will leave Greasy Meister the responsibility of clearing this one out, and he gives it right to Cooksier. Cooksier going to put it into Dem Girlz' corner. Soft touch from Mello back to Cooksier. Soft hit. And that is not the shot that Cooksier wanted, I have no doubt. As we advance towards the 2-minute mark.
Greasy managed to get a nip onto him.
It's going to come high off that top corner. There's Mello. Going to make a soft clear, and that could be troubles. There's Maestro into the lower corner, but Cooksier once again able to clear that one out. And FlipSide Tactics narrowly avoiding disaster here in Game 5, as Mello's going to put it off that backboard. Nobody going to be able to find a touch, and it's going to fall for Cooksier as he puts it off the backboard this time, but Marky skying that one high and wide. And that will give another opportunity for FlipSide, as they're doing a good job of staying in control of this ball now.
Yeah, they really are. Dem Girlz, they need to be able to try and get that siege set up yet again, and it just seems anyone can make the mistake right now. That's really the thing. It's been 2.5 minutes of just a great session of Rocket League, and we're still going at this point. Who will be the first team to make the mistake? We're about to find out. That's... Oh, my heart.
The synergy is absolutely insane from Dem Girlz, and that's a soft touch into the net. And it looks like Dem Girlz, Shogun, are going to be the one to make that mistake and net FlipSide a second win in the series.
Yeah, Remco didn't need to play that one as quickly as he did. He could have gone for the dribble or just trying to take it up the wall. Instead, hit it off the wall, and FlipSide were just sat there ready and waiting for it. That left a 2v1 situation. Didn't even need it. Just put it onto net.
6 saves for Remco.
9 shots for Mike Rules. Oh, what a match. What a series. I believe it is 3-2 at this point.
Correct.
FlipSide still needing 2 more wins, whilst Dem Girlz need just 1 more. This is going to be game number 6.
And if Shogun would have his way, he would have FlipSide take this game as well.
This is the penultimate game.
The penultimate game, indeed. As there's the kickoff, Mike Rules and Remco for it. It's going to squirt straight sideways, go up the wall for Greasy. Greasy trying to find a pass, but just not able to get a read on that ball. As Cooksier now puts it over one defender, but there's Remco. But Cooksier reading this play perfectly, able to stay in control of this ball. And there's a nice pass from Mike Rules. It's going to come high off the ceiling. Remco needs to get this clear. Thankfully, he does. As here comes Maestro, going to get bumped by Marky Duda. Marky Duda trying to do his best to get that out towards mid, but not enough power in a backflip from a stationary position. As here comes Greasy now into the corner. Nice clear. Remco straight sideways, and that might help Cooksier. Yep, Cooksier, strong touch forward, but Dem Girlz already back on defense. And this almost feels like a game 1. Like they're kind of filling each other out here early on.
I think that overtime in the last game sort of woke both of these teams up to the situation they're in. 1 game is all it takes now for this series to be over. If Dem Girlz win it, it's finished. And I think both teams sort of realize that now and just don't want to be handing away 3 games, especially Dem Girlz, because not only if they lose this, obviously they want to lose it because, well, they want to win to go on to win the entire thing, but it's a momentum thing.
Yeah.
If you go into Game 7 losing, I believe it will be 2 on the trot, they're down in momentum, and you'd have to give the advantage in Game 7 to FlipSide.
Have to? Or want to?
I'd have to. You know, winning 2 in a row, I'd have to say that they sort of figured something out at that point.
Good start to a reverse sweep indeed. It's going to come high off that backboard. Well, not a reverse sweep, it's a best of 5. There's a shot from Mike, but cleared out by Remco. Remco with the quick read on that ball. Maestro, really big touch forward, but oh my gosh, I thought FlipSide, or Cooksier specifically, was going to own goal that for just a split second, but he's too good at this game to let himself do that. Greasy now off that backboard. Soft touch from Cooksier, but Marky's just going to miss that hit, and that'll give Remco just enough time to throw it up towards Greasy. Nice contest from Remco in the middle of the pitch, but strong positional play this time from FlipSide. Stronger than I think we've seen in this series in general.
Greasy went up for ages without using any boost, and I thought it was completely out, and then he hit the ball again and just went for the second touch, and I was like, oh, okay, that's dirty. That really is.
Some might even say, "Grow, that's a good pass," and there's FlipSide off the post and thankfully into the net. As I'm sure FlipSide would have just felt terrible if they didn't walk away with that goal there.
Yep, ball came in and Cooksier. That's a really tight angle that he's got to try and put that one in from, but he did manage to make it. Gets in off the side and puts it in. Eventually, after it bounced around a wee bit and really thought about it, just, you know, maybe I'll go in, maybe I won't.
Just a wee bit indeed, as Cooksier giving it right over to Greasy, who puts it right into the middle of the net. Thankfully, Maestro the one to come down with that. That could have been trouble had FlipSide been the ones to come down with that ball, as Greasy opting to put it back into his own corner, and that's a very safe play from him, recognizing that the only one who's going to be able to get it is himself, and not want to make a poor decision and give it right back to FlipSide. But that's not going to matter, as a good pass from Marky Duda to Mike Rules will result in a 2-0 lead for FlipSide.
Remco has spent so much time on that boost play. He spent like 3 to 4 seconds on there waiting for boost to come up. And then eventually was called into action without the boost he actually needed and out position. FlipSide Tactics taking the 2-0 lead right now and just looking really solid. 6 shots on their part compared to the 1 from Dem Girlz. This has been a complete role reversal.
Ooh, man. Maestro just able to get enough of himself in front of that ball to punch that sideways. That's a good, strong shot, but Marky Duda way too good at this game to let that one into the net. So that's a good pinch from Cooksier, going to keep it in control of FlipSide. Soft touch from Marky into the far right of the net, and what a play from FlipSide.
FlipSide, they won this Game 7 just as much as anyone else, and they are making it convincing on the way there. These aren't usually the type of goals that we see Dem Girlz conceding. Usually someone goes to commit to that and try and actually force the play away, but nothing coming out there. And this has just been a completely crushing victory so far. Although that's not great. Okay, Mike's there.
Mike is there, the hero of FlipSide in that particular moment, at least, as Cooks here. Soft touch forward, not able to get it around Maestro. That could be trouble, but a nice backflip from Cooks here. Able to make sure his team escapes disaster for just a wee bit longer. As there's Maestro, soft shot high on the net. And that will leave Mello on a dribble. Gives it off the side wall towards Maestro, so bit of a misplay. But Remco not going to be able to find that one. That will give the ball right back to FlipSide Tactics. And you have to wonder if Dem Girlz are trying to play a little bit more passively, not wanting to give up a lot of free things, and if it's just backfiring on them.
I don't know at this point. It just hasn't looked like Dem Girlz have been playing good at all, and honestly, that's all I'm going to chalk this one up to, because this has not been a Dem Girlz performance.
Agreed. As Mello off that top corner, good contest from Remco. Remco going to do his best to get a nice read off that ceiling, but it's going to go over to Marky Duda, waiting on that wall. Good contest from Maestro. Pinched out by FlipSide. That's a good setup from them to make sure they're really setting the net. And here comes Marky Duda, able to get it around one, but not around the second defender. So it's going to punch straight sideways for Cooks here. Cooks here going to opt to let that one fall, and there's Mike Rules into the lower left corner. And another good pass play from FlipSide will net them Game 6. 4-0.
Right, so I was talking about momentum going into Game 7. This is what we like to call a lot of momentum going into Game 7. FlipSide, they have not been answered against so far. I believe they've now scored 6 without actually being contested or having one conceded in that time, and that's including last game as well. Oh, what a shot by player, also known as Player Duda, also known as Marky Duda.
Marky in general, but I'm just going to bring it. That's an open net. Still time on the clock. Can't go in the montage. Hate to break it to you, Mike, but it's all right. As they will take Game 6 here, 5-0, or most likely 5-0, but I'm still going to go back and reiterate the point I made some time earlier ago about FlipSide. They always seem to drop early games in the series, and then as it goes on, they start to play better and better and better. And they've brought it back to Game 7 after being down, what was it, 3-1?
Yeah, they were down 3-1, but let's. Oh wow! Sorry, I'm trying to recover at this point because of what this has been. That last game, I'm almost kind of glad that it wasn't insane and it was kind of a straightforward win, because it's given me an opportunity just to refocus on this, because we are going to Game 7. We've played 6, it comes down to 1 more. Let's see how well these guys can do, and let's hope that this comes down to an outplay rather than players just making mistakes.
It would definitely be a letdown of Game 7 if it wasn't a hard-earned win. That being said, if we saw like an absolute destruction, would you be that surprised from one team or the other?
I wouldn't. Not with pressure like this. I really do feel like knowing...
Oh, and that's a good start.
That's a really great start. If a team loses like 2 to 3 goals in a row, it's really simple for them just to completely collapse and allow in 6 or 7. Dem Girlz will look to try and get the response to this as quickly as possible, because it's only 13 seconds into this match, so I don't think this will panic Dem Girlz too much, but that thought in the back of the head has got to be, wow, we lost by quite a few last game, and it just seems to be continuing here.
The mental game definitely going to prove a strong factor in Dem Girlz' performance, as that's a good start to build it back up with Maestro making a wonderful save, as I thought for sure that was 2-0 FlipSide. But proving me wrong, as always, since I'm a caster, is Dem Girlz. As Marky Duda now up the wall, giving it right over to Greasy. Greasy now looking for his teammates. Maestro opting to stay here in the corner, and that will not work out for him, as Remco almost getting beat there. Just barely able to get enough of himself in front of that ball to make sure FlipSide did not have another open net. This Marky going to pass it off that sidewall right to Mike Rules. It's going to fall right back to Marky as it hit off that top corner. Nice job of playing that very passively. I think I might have rushed that a little bit and tried to jump at that one.
Certainly is, but Cooks, he's playing very well positionally right now, just sitting himself back, waiting for that. Maybe not, depending on how much boost he had, but he's missed that ball. Cooks, I'm trying to praise you here, buddy. Stop making mistakes when I do that. Oh, what's that?
Ooh. Almost another disaster from that top corner for FlipSide, but this time thankfully able to avoid it, as Marky Duda now into the corner. Nice soft touch from Maestro. Going to force Mike to make the adjustment and keep it in that We Dem Girlz corner. And Mike's going to miss that touch, but Cooks here going to come in for support. Try and tip it around Greasy. He is successful, floating down in front of the net, but Maestro going to be the only one there to make a play on that ball. As there's a good contest from Marky. Going to keep it over here as there is Mike Rules rotating back. And the rotations for FlipSide this game looking spot on.
They've looked really good, and FlipSide not usually known for their rotations, but this has looked really, really good so far. Just a slight variation of what We Dem Girlz usually do. Usually We Dem Girlz will try and contest everything in the mid-ground with their third player. Cooks, when he's usually the last one back, and he's the only one that I've seen back so far, is just waiting for the ball to come towards him, letting the entirety of We Dem Girlz come towards him, and then trying to play the long ball over the top.
But is that really such a terrible strategy? Because
That's
like
not
you said...
If it works, you're forcing maybe 2-3 extra seconds being played, and when you're a goal up, that's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination.
And Cooks here, definitely the man you'd want in that net. As you mentioned earlier, his all-star defensive performance, only letting in one goal. Also an almost air dribble, but Greasy getting a nice read. And there's Mike Rules with the shot as Remco able to clear that one out. But that's another good pass. And FlipSide, the pressure looks good. The defense looks good. We Dem Girlz might be in trouble here, as that could prove me very well wrong, as there's Remco not able to get it around Mike. And Mike showing that reaction time.
The luckiest thing ever. Mike came up off the backboard and just landed and didn't have to move as that ball came directly at him. Cooks it, putting it in for goal number 2. We Dem Girlz have got to be kicking themselves right now. This is now, I think, close to 8 goals without them scoring once.
Golf clap for Cooks here. Beautiful placement. Realizing that, I believe that was Greasy, overcommitted a little bit too far to the right and was going to have to cut back to the net and just shot it ever so slightly to the left. And that will net them a 2-0 lead here, as Marky going to do his best to set up the siege in favor of FlipSide, as Greasy Meister not going to have any of it, but Mike Rules says stop that. It is the FlipSide siege. And we have yet to see We Dem Girlz really adjust to how... Oh my goodness. That is a rare miss for Marky Duda. A completely open net, and he just skied it to the side. Skied it to the side? Hit it to the side. Sky is up.
I have absolutely no idea what's been going on. When was the last time we saw We Dem Girlz get into that trademark siege that they try and get into?
Game 4.
It's been at least 5 minutes.
At least 5 minutes.
And just, this has been the first time I've
That's
really
a good start!
Wow, what a play!
Maestro noticing Remco forward into the pitch. Remco says, hey, I'm forward left. And Remco goes, thank you very much. And Marky Duda just not able in time to reach that. So that's into the net at 73 miles per hour, or 120-ish kph. As Shogun put it so elegantly much earlier in the day, fast miles per hour.
Fast! And speaking of fast, We Dem Girlz need to get onto this ball fast because they are running out of time. They've given themselves an opportunity. They're back into the match! It has happened within a matter of seconds in-game. We Dem Girlz 2-0 down to 2-2.
And if you're We Dem Girlz, you say, no problem, baby. Never had a doubt in my mind. But FlipSide, now we'll have to see if FlipSide able to make that mental reset. Because you have to wonder if they got up 2-0, held off for 4 minutes, and just in the last minute, maybe they got just a little lax, thinking, we have a 2-goal lead. We can maybe give up 1.
Oh, well, that's an open goal! 3 goals!
And they're going to give up 3 goals. And FlipSide, like, what? I don't understand what happened to the FlipSide defense. Mike and Cooks here both went for that. And in the final minute of this grand final between We Dem Girlz and FlipSide Tactics, a couple defensive miscommunications from FlipSide could very well result in We Dem Girlz taking this.
If this ends up in a FlipSide loss, this will be insane. FlipSide cannot have thrown this. They need to get the goal back.
Or else Shogun will be very mad.
I won't be mad, I'll be shocked. But Mike Rules, who was probably the last play for that, Cooks has got an opportunity!
Greasy Meister not going to have any of it. Remco doing a really nice job of stalling out the clock. 2-1-0. And this is crunch time for FlipSide. Cooks here tapping it forward, and that's going to be too far. And We Dem Girlz, once again, take the Gfinity 3v3 Rocket League tournament 4-3.
They've stole it. They haven't taken it, they've stole it. I can't believe what I've just watched. FlipSide Tactics 2 goals up. With, I feel like 45 seconds remaining. And then with 26 seconds left, it's
3-2.
nothing. It's 3-2. That
What was
ridiculous. It really was.
What was the throw earlier in the day?
We didn't see anything on that scale. We saw. I can't remember who it was. I know we saw.
I feel
one
like
throw.
it was fish sticks and lose. Yes.
That it's possible it was in there, but compare it to the amount of pressure these teams are under. That was a lower round game. Yes, they were under pressure. They were under immense amount of pressure, but that was the Gfinity finals, and that will stick in the back of the heads of FlipSide. They want to go to RLCS. They want to go to the LAN. Imagine the pressure there.
Can't choke there for sure. But regardless of the results of this Gfinity, you guys in the chat do not have to go anywhere, as the Rocket Royale International Finals will be starting here in 10 minutes, and you guys will have the pleasure of witnessing Johnny Boy and Gregan cast that one. So, do not go anywhere, as they will be taking over here shortly, literally, basically, as soon as we're done here. So, this has been Achieves 25, or guess just Achieves, because the 25's there because it had to be. Casting with the wonderful Shogun. Had a pleasure, man.
Had a pleasure with you too, man. I got to see a double collapse today. It was very entertaining. Sad, but entertaining.
But that will end the Gfinity 3v3 European Rocket League Cup in favor of Dem Girlz, taking it 4-3 over FlipSide Tactics. So do not go anywhere, as just after this we have the Rocket Royale International Finals. Have a good one, guys.